All right, you have three charts. The one in the middle is a full Gemini moon, which will occur at 12 p.m. November 23rd, 2018, the day after Thanksgiving. So that's what we're going to review now. And these two persons have requested the 2018 forecast based on the natal charts and the transit chart. And that's what you're looking at. Two natal charts, one transit chart. Okay, now, in the description box, I'm going to put the first link you'll see is I really went into the Gemini moon. Because a lot of people ordered this. The best way to do it was have one master video, which I did. So, if you want more details, listen to the master video. Because we really go into the Gemini moon. This is a very significant moon, just to let you know. A lot of things will be going on with the past life, present life, but also your emotions and your intellect and your ego. So if you just look at the chart, you can kind of see it. That little horseshoe at 28 degrees, that's your north node. Go across from that. That's your south node, north node, present life, south node, past life. A lot of karma, especially in the 5th house. Capricorn and Leo is affected. I'm definitely going through that. I'm a Leo, my sun sign. And then also the intellect, the intellect, sun. Again, sun rules Leo. And they're both at 0 degrees, which means new beginning. Our next few full moons are going to be at 0 degrees. And what that means is leaving, say, one chapter going right into another one. So it is a new beginning, but it's still a new beginning off that chapter. And we'll be picking up more when we get there. But just make sure we understand that. The ascendant. I'm starting with the chart in the middle. This is the Gemini full moon. The ascendant is at, and remember, like I said, I spent well over 2 hours explaining Gemini moon. So you have to listen to that video. This is for the interest of everybody invited. And click on that link if you want to know more. Some people really don't want to know all that technical stuff. They just want to, oh, is that my twin? Is that not my twin? Stuff like that. How does this affect me? So that's why I did it that way. The ascendant is Virgo with Aries. So this is going to be health, healing. Your 6th house is of concern, health, healing, critical analysis. So that is the ascendant, critical analysis, health, healing. Right now I'm going through health issues, which are healing, thank God. And it's also Aries energy. So you just heard me here. You heard me say Aries. You heard me say the 1st house. And you heard Virgo. So you can always compare that to whatever I just said. When we go to her 6th house, now her 6th house is Virgo. So right now the ascendant in the universe with the ecliptic or east point is in her 6th house. And see karma right there because you have Saturn. So I would tell her make sure her health is good. The chart on the left. Make sure your health is good. Saturn could be who's ever like an employer to you, and that's her true north node. I just love the way the universe works. That's her true north node, which is why she's here. So definitely check your health. If you have, make sure your health is good. I would strongly advise you try to get everything checked out with Saturn there. And Saturn brings that karma. And as you can see right now, Saturn in the universe is all about karma. So and also bills. You know, make sure your bills, not just health, because the 6th house is also home. So make sure you're up on your bills. Because, I mean, they'll hit you. I tell you, they'll hit you. You won't even see it coming. Somebody else will contact you and say, we brought something from so-and-so and you owe us and blah, 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 and we need it now. Like, what the heck? I just got this. What are you talking about? Especially if you just paid the other people. Hopefully, you know, the payment will catch up. But you just paid the other people. Now somebody else is knocking on the door and said, we bought your account for them and you owe us right now. And this is how much you owe all. We want all of it. But we'll make a deal with you. We'll take off this, but we want you to pay it now. So that's authority of Saturn, but all this is the 8th house of karmic debt, other people's money, debt. But we'll stay here for now. But make sure the health is good. People may be changing homes. Like I said, you may have something coming regarding your home or your property. Something might change or a new rule might come out. It could be apartments, anything that you consider a home. But even when you're dealing with Saturn, you're also dealing with Capricorn, which is the 10th house, or your employment and reputation. So you have a little bit of that all going on. Don't be too Don't be too firm on children, because the 6th house also deals with children and animals. But you may have to, I'm going to say kindly discipline. That might be an issue too with some kids, especially this time we're around holiday season, so kids may be wilding. All right, and then her 1st house is Aries. Now be careful with your Aries, because you got Vesta there, and wherever you see Vesta, that's a lot of energy. That's a fiery 1st house. And if you notice, she keeps popping up with 14 degrees, which I'm sure we've covered before in her natal reading, because she's got a lot of 14 degrees on her chart. All right. So Vesta can be fiery because it is a fire of God. Aries is a fire sign. So she's got a lot of fire going on right now. But remember, it's working with that Virgo energy as well. So just watch, because they did say with this Gemini moon, watch what comes out your mouth, because Gemini is a communication, but it's going to be a lot of confusion with these retrogrades, with Neptune retrograde and stuff. So we may see something a certain way and we say something, but it's based on the confusion in the universe. So be very careful. And Mars rules Aries, because they're like Mars is going to be off the hook. A lot of people are going to be thinking their philosophy is right and it's not. Getting in an argument, especially, around this time of year, alcohol and carrying on. So be very careful. Be very careful with the children. They may be wild, and you know how children are. But they're saying don't, because sometimes we go overboard with the discipline. That's Saturn or Capricorn. We go over with the discipline, so we have to be careful. For the chart on the right, just letting you know right now, the 5th house in the universe is under karma and transformation. Because Pluto is there to transfer, because the 5th house is ruled by Leo, but this is past life stuff. Now, this is all on a master video, because I took time, because I'm a Leo. I wanted to understand what was going on. In a past life, you may have been too Capricornian. See, my south node, where the moon is on my chart, is Capricornian. You were too business-minded. You were too direct. And you didn't show enough love to the feminine. Didn't show enough love to even family members that were feminine. So now you're paying for it in this life. And that's why the 5th house is supposed to be about dating and everything. But it's all about karma, karmic debt. So that's why when I met my soulmate, who I work with, her first response was basically to try to Saturnian me. She tried to lay the law down. And I'm told this is my chosen one by everybody. So I know who she is. There's no doubt in my mind that that's not the chosen one that's on my natal chart. I know that for a fact. It's divine, perfect timing in the universe. But I was wondering, why are you being so... Because you're seeing the same dreams I'm seeing. You know who I am. I know who you are. So how dare you? How dare you talk to me like I'm one of these average Joes? There's nothing average about me at all. So I'm going through this, but I don't understand the karmic debt. So that's what's going on in this 5th house of the universe, ruled by Leo, my sign. But Pluto is there to transform you. Pluto is trying its best to tell you, ease up, let it go, and let the feminine in. So that's what's going on in the 5th house in the universe. And again, a lot of times your career is where all this goes down, because your career is karma. That's why you have to understand. Just like they say, oh, you're going to hell. Oh, you did bad and now you're going to hell. That's your karma for doing bad. And now you have Satan or Saturn sitting there. So when you go to your job, whatever that job, because I said everybody's job ain't the same. Some people is a 9 to 5. Some people is a street corner. Some people might be a sugar daddy, a sugar mama. But it's still a job. Wherever you're getting income from, that's your job, because you have to perform to get that income. But that's what's being looked at right now. So it is transformation. And like I said, right now, if you notice Saturn maybe saying, listen, I need more from you, or just, I don't like that. Because you heard about that lawyer. Now, this is this lawyer that's going after the president. So he's sleeping with his mistress, and he's like, wait, you spending too much of my money, and I'm getting sick of this. So he flips out. Now, he's talking about he was going to run. He might have ran for president, he said. And he was talking about he's going to take Donald Trump down. And now he's in trouble for smacking some broad around. This big time lawyer. But you can tell he had a cocky attitude. So this is the type of stuff that's going on in the universe right now. So again, I'm going to say, especially you females, because you females tend to want to turn it up. This is not a good time to turn it up. Sometimes keep your mouth shut. Sorry, ladies. Sometimes men do it, though. You'll see men get ready to fight, and somebody will shut up. As soon as the other one shuts up, the other one shuts up. Because men don't necessarily want to fight all the time. They're just making their point. That's men. Like dogs, they're very territorial. If you respect their territory, they'll back down. But women, they got to get all up in your face and talking crazy. And you try to walk in the next room, they got to follow you around. Got the finger all in your face because they think you ain't supposed to hit them. They really believe that. But a lot of times, y'all gravely mistaken. Gravely mistaken. I would tell anybody, try not to be up in people's faces. You can make your point across and also wait till things calm down. You're talking about Aries investor. That's fire. 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 So that's what's going on. Now, in her fifth house, it's the same thing. It's a karmic thing. She's got Virgo, so whatever we said about Virgo, it's the same information about critical analysis. Be careful, check your health. But she's got Venus. I'm looking at the chart on the right. She's got Venus and Juno. So now in her fifth house, where it's a lot of discipline going on, but it's still what we said about Virgo, but it's still love and even a serious relationship. So that's why I always see with her, but I know her, and it just seems that she's running from something. And she's looking in all the wrong places when you have to work with your charts, everyone. You have to. If you're getting your chart, there's no way in the world this is a bad decision. What happens with some people, they don't see it right away and they tap out. See, I love this. But see, that's a cat in me. I'm a Leo. So we love the stalking. We love the prey. We love to see a person. Like, I'm not afraid of the universe. Because I know my twin, she put me through hell. Because she would fuck another guy and make sure I knew it. You know, and come in with a wicked self. And that hurt. But I also know if it was meant for me and her to be, nobody could stop what the universe is going to do. I also know how a woman is when she really does have love for you. And that's why in my heart I already knew my twin wasn't there for the right reason. She wasn't. That was a karmic debt. I did something to her in the past life, and she paid me back in the worst way. But I had it coming. That's a karmic debt. Your twin flame doesn't always come in your life to be with you. This is why you have to learn this. You have to deal with experts such as myself that deal with it. Or you can keep on playing this YouTube garbage, bubblegum astrology. Where's my twin? Why is my twin? Oh, it's my fake. First you say it's your twin, then you say it's a fake twin, then because you don't know nothing. Because you don't want to learn, you don't want to say. So you got to get down. When you see your house, fifth house, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you see Juno and Venus, that's love in the fifth house. And that's dating and fun and everything else. So for her, it's going to balance out. The universe is all about karma, but that might be her karmic debt to have love. But she may be fighting it because she won't get past whatever she's afraid of on her chart. Because I've been telling her this for a long time. And she's running all over, but your answers will always be on your natal chart. You can run wherever you want to, but until you sit down and man up a little bit and deal with it, you're going to be ducking love, running from love. Love might be right in front of your face, and you're running from it, and you're looking in the wrong places. And people are looking at you like, why are you over here? Because they already know. Instinctively, they already know that it's not meant to be. Not like that. All right. And where else? And we talked a little bit about Aries. Let's go back to the master chart in the middle. All right, so anywhere where you see Aries, be careful, because I've already warned her. Uranus is retrograde in Aries. The 8th house is all going to be power struggles. It's connected to the 3rd house because of Scorpio, and she's got the Uranus retrograde in Scorpio. So she's really going to be off the hook, the left chart. I would strongly advise you to tone it down. And be careful. Because this is not a good time for you, because I could see some type of violence and maybe even worse. But I'm telling you, this is not the time to open up. Even if you think you're 100% right, because the universe is going to be doing deception because of these retrogrades with Neptune. This is not the time to turn it up. Out here in Monmouth County, New Jersey, we don't know what the heck happened. But two brothers got into it. They made a lot of money. They got into it. And somehow it led to the murder and burning down the houses. One brother and the other brother tried to burn down his house. One was in Colts Neck, New Jersey. And one was in Ocean, New Jersey. He tried to burn down his own house with his own family in it. So the police arrested him for that. They haven't figured out this is horrible. But this is the kind of energy. So this is not the time to think you're going to argue with somebody, think maybe somebody owes you some money or whatever going on. This is not the time to go for it. Remember, the 8th house is all about other people's money and debt, or, you know, somebody owes you. And it's too crazy. Now, her Aries is in the 12th house of karma and endings. A lot of repression there with Lilith retrograde. The 12th house is a repressed house anyway. It's all about secrets. And she's going to be forced to study things, which I already know she's doing that. Jupiter retrograde. Jupiter retrograde means you're going to try to check everything. Like, somebody will come to me and think I'm a great guru, but they may come for the wrong reasons or whatever. And then maybe I don't do something they want, and now they're looking all over the world. Like I said, your answers is on your natal chart. That's where you need to look. You need to take that Aries aggressive energy and focus on your natal chart. And you got to deal with your repression, because this is your 12th house. You got to find out what the repression is. You got to deal with any pain you've dealt with, because that's the only way you're going to heal. And if you notice, you got Chiron there too. So this is a very repressed person. They got Lilith retrograde in the 12th house. They got Chiron retrograde. So this is a repressed person. But what I'm saying, you got to take some steps. Baby steps are better than no steps. But running, that's like a groupie. First you're over with this guy, and you're with that guy, you're with that guy. But it's not the guy's fault. And that's what I'm saying. It's your fault, because you're allowing it to happen. Because you don't want to deal with it. You're running, and you're just hoping to find somebody who makes you feel a certain way, and then you can forget about what you're supposed to be doing. And that's what most people are doing on YouTube. They're taking the easy way out. And then if I say a word like loser, they get upset. But that's what a loser does. Oh, no, I'm not dealing with that. Let me go somewhere where it's easy. It's like somebody that's on drugs or alcohol. You're taking it easy. I want to feel good. I don't have to feel good for real. I'll just stay high. Now, if that's not the easy way out, I don't know what is. But there's so much to be given if you go through those tough times, if you go through the darkness and you overcome. That's what astrology really is about. Not this bubblegum astrology you see out here online or on YouTube. And what happens if they don't listen? Well, you end up getting used or deceived. You got it. Karma. You can't cheat the universe. The universe is your universal mother. It is spirit. It is the big boss. You can't cheat the universe and think it's going to turn out nice. And then you got to ask yourself where you're going after this. Let's say you cheat the universe and make it all the way to your deathbed. But now you got to pay for it. Even the scriptures tell you God does not want to be mocked. That's why the universe talks a lot about karma. All right, so now let's continue. Second house is Libra with Venus. But the funny thing is, it's in the second house about money and finances. So some of these business partnerships, relationships, contractual or legal matters may have to do with finances. Because there's a song, no romance without finance. It's kind of the theme there. And that Palace is like is a little bit like Virgo. Critical analysis, but Palace can also be social issues, especially when it's retrograde. So even the law or people in social agencies, social justice may be a little concerned about social issues. Like this is the time where they, ask you for more donations to feed people during the holidays and things like to help them. So that's going to go on too. So that's another form of Venus love. But Venus right now is thinking more about, because that's her house. Her second house is Venus's house. She rules Taurus. Taurus rules the second house. So Venus is really thinking about some type of togetherness. And that's how it is around a holiday. And you see it right here on the chart to the left. Venus is right there. So she's looking at love in new ways. It might be the same person. Remember, this Gemini moon, and that's all about twins too. Libra's all about the two scales, the two weights and balances. So she may be looking at it a new way, but she's got Venus and Mars, and they're warning about Mars right now because Mars is putting people in fantasy land, but Mars is also going passive aggressive. So it could be anything. Oh, our relationship would be just so much better if they, you understand? Instead of just saying, how could I make this better, or what can we do to make it better, or maybe it is what it is. Only each person has to come to their own conclusion. But it's gonna Mars, passive aggressive. That's what they were warning about. That's why I said if you like astrology, you should definitely listen to that master reading I did. And what I'm going to do, I might not put in the description box because that was like a special reading, but you'll get it in your email. And that way you could look at it, but that's not for the public because that was the main reason. It took a long time to do that. First I let an expert do it. Like I repeated what the expert was saying, but to me he was way too technical, so then I did it. But I put mine first because, again, it's my channel. But you get to hear the whole thing about it because this is going to change things. I know that for a fact. This Gemini moon is definitely going to change a lot of stuff. So in your second house, but it's still a serious relationship. So Venus is going to, the chart on the left, Venus is going to really be active in your life. And she's so beautiful. I don't know if you got a chance to see her. And when I saw her, she was in a Spica. But she's been there for a long time. See, I like to use the black chart when I'm space watching because it's more accurate. Because Venus has been in Spica a long time. You look right up there and you see it. Early in the morning, go out there. You'll see Venus. I'm on the East Coast. So anytime after 5:30, 5:45 or so. But don't wait till it gets late. So try to get out there right before it gets light. You'll see Venus and Spica's right there. So in your second house, we're going to handle this now. So you are thinking about it because Gemini moon is going to make you think about it. Mercury, but you're also going to have ego. See, this is where you got to be careful because you got the sun there too. And right now, the sun with Jupiter is making people a little more aggressive, feeling really cocky, feeling very lucky. And as you see, you got the Mercury retrograde in the fourth house, 1, 2, 3, 4. And your relationship will always be your fourth house, whether you see it that way or not. Even if you're dating somebody that's kind of like considered family for that time period. For that time period, it's like your other half, so it's kind of like family. So that's going on, with, but again, it is all with money. And if you have Sagittarius energy, it may want you to do some traveling. And it's all new, like 0 degrees, 1 degrees. And even your Juno says 2 degrees. See, that's a Novus person. And with this Gemini new moon, so you're gonna see your relationship a little bit different. But because Taurus is there, it's still gonna be based pretty much on finance, possessions. You can't really get past that. But if you're following an advisory, you have Chiron, so you may get some healing. Is it possible the relationship may improve? I think so. But you just got to watch the Mars energy because we've been telling you about Mars and Aries. And I don't know. See, like I said, women, they could rule the world. But all this is a master plan. Because if you watch, sometimes people won't move 2 inches for something nice. But when somebody pisses them off or to pay somebody back, they have all the energy in the world. And I just sit here and go, wow, it's sad. Sometimes it just looks like the human race just wants to do bad, wants to mess stuff up, or go to hell. Like when I watch those gangster movies with De Niro and Joe Pesci, a lot of characters he played were like that. He just wanted it evil. He just wanted to shoot people. He wanted to pistol whip people. He didn't want it nice. And sometimes you just see that. And it's sad. Like I've grown out of this planet, to be honest with you. Cause like I know I crack jokes, so I've had people say to me, like if I'm talking to somebody online or something or on the telephone or whatever, and I'll crack a joke, they'll say, "Are you white?" No, I'm not white. I just act like I am. No, I'm not white. I had to tell one person, listen. I said I came up with the biggest gangsters in this area, and they all respect me. That's more important to me than anything. I'm not never be a political person. I think religion is great, but it has to be really spiritual people, not fake, phony frauds. But nothing soft about me whatsoever. But that's why I can be strong. I can have a sense of humor. Plus, I'm a Leo. See, I know astrology. Leos are supposed to have fun and things like that. So to be nice doesn't make me a bad person. But unfortunately, with a lot of people, they really associate being a nice person with being weak. And then I don't have to prove myself to anybody. So I feel like that person just lost a good opportunity to know a great person. That's how I feel. Like me and my soulmate still haven't recovered. And I've been going through everything. But I take readings regularly. So you see the high priestess is in control. Everything I'm going through, it's in the cards. You see it. And she's telling me it still has something to do with the person I work with, the soulmate. But I haven't seen her in literally weeks. She said one day I walked in, she didn't see me. I saw her, I went and talked to a manager and left. Because I told him I couldn't work for health reasons. All right. So why is that passive aggressive? But yeah, so what I was gonna say, people may not follow me, but it's better than with honey. See, when you're dealing with a chart like this one in the second house, you can't get past that it does deal with manipulation because it's love, intensity, but it is based on finance. So what you want to do is be the best at it. Because you can't get past this manipulation. It's like a chess move. What do you have to do to get that? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's already two adults or whatever the case might be. It's consensual. See, I'm just a lot smarter. I'm not with all this silly stuff. How is arguing with you going to help me? That's how I look at it. And everybody knows that about me. What is my arguing with you? What is that doing for me? Other than making you feel good because you like drama. But what am I getting out of it? So I just walk past people. And I never talk to lower. I always go over people's head. I learned that way like over 30 years ago. You're wasting your time. You're going to have to talk about the same thing over and over and over again. And eventually it'll get to by the time it gets to the top person who's going to make the decision, it's all watered down. So you might as well just go to the top right away. So everything will be in your favor. So this is all the stuff I've done. This is why when you get a natal chart through me, you get the whole experience of life. That's why I said if you're just out here looking for love and all that, you're playing yourself out. Because what happens is you're trying to play me. You're not going to play me out. I've been doing this forever. So you'll have people to try to show me a lot of attention or whatever else, but it's for a wrong motive. Ultimately, I'm a teacher. I'm not out here looking for a hookup. I never came out here and said, hey, I do astrology charts, but I'm looking for a date. So that's the wrong way to approach. Like on the last chart I did, which was for these two people, I gave you the illustration of the female boxer. She comes in the gym saying she wants to learn how to box. She gets one of the best trainers in the world to help her. But she's losing focus or whatever her motive was. And she's trying to hook up with him. Now, he never said he wanted to hook up with her. Plus, he may have other obligations. He may have a wife and kids. So it's inappropriate. So what he does to her, he says, okay. He puts her in the ring with somebody he knows can box their ass off. And she ain't ready because she ain't been paying attention. She's been trying to flirt and all the stupid stuff. And she gets her ass handed to her. Gets knocked the fuck out. And then while she's laying there semi-conscious, he's standing over top of her saying, when you come in this ring, you come to box. When you come in this gym, you come to box. You come to train to box. Otherwise, stay the hell out of it. And he just throws a white towel on her face. But he never threw the white towel in the ring when she was getting her ass kicked. Either you're here to box or you're not. It's that simple. Either you want to succeed with what the universe has put out there for you, or you want to try to do like everybody else, bubblegum astrology. I just want to feel good. Bazooka Joe. Any old timers remember Bazooka Joe with the fake little comic strip? So now let me finish up. So now let's just say she gets her act together and she really starts training now because she knows he ain't with that silly stuff. And she's training, and now she's really wants to honor her trainer by boxing very well. And now she's boxing. Now he looks at her totally different. Now he looks at her with the most admiration and respect. Now maybe something might happen, maybe. But ultimately, that's why she's there, to learn how to box. If you got an astrology chart, you're supposed to know what's on your chart. That's why I took so much time on a reading. I wanted to know why they've been putting Leo through hell. Through hell. But now I know why. It all made sense to me yesterday when I finally did everything. And that's the master chart I have, but that's only for people who have requested this. That's not for everybody. So you'll get a private link. All right. Now when we look on the chart on the right, again, dealing with Libra energy, but right now it is a perfect time for relationships, partnerships, according to the universe. But always remember everything else we said. You have to put everything in balance. So when her 6th house, still dealing with that Virgo energy, is healing. But see, she's got the opportunity of transformation at 0 degrees. See, it's all about things new. And her vertex is right there with Mercury. So she's going to have to watch her communications because Mercury's retrograde right now. But again, it's a great time for her in relationships. Transformation. See, that's why I say it takes a little maturity. You can't just wait around for what the guy's going to do for you. What are you doing? It works both ways. But that's what you see right here with her vertex in the house of healing. And it's the home and healing, like I said, little children. And this could also be business partnerships too, because Libra can be business partnerships. But it's still a great time. Pluto's going to cause transformation with Virgo healing, because it's the 6th house, so that's Virgo. Great time. Vertex. Vertex is destiny or a fated event. Could be a soulmate or a twin soul. And her 7th house has Scorpio in it, so again, working with Pluto, great transformation. And that's her true north node, her life purpose. So it's definitely going to be a fated event. And when this isn't happening in a person's life, it's because they're not looking. Like I told you, mine is going on right now, but my soulmate is a lot younger than me. And I've been on this planet long enough. So I really don't have that. See, I'm not a Leo anymore. I'm not a sun sign Leo anymore. I'm more like a moon sign Capricorn. I'm more business. And I just don't have what it takes for that. Like, it all depends on. I had a great relationship with a female. We just hit it off good. But the universe used her to try to tell me that if I was to put the work in with my soulmate, she'd be the same way. But it's like, I don't know. And like that commitment stuff, like I like the way I move. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is the universe has set it all up, but you're going to have to make that final choice whether you want to go or not. And this person to the right, they just tend to run. And I really don't know, because they don't talk about stuff. So I don't know what's going on with them. I just know on their chart it's right there. And I've always said that it's right there. So I really can't give you the reasons why. I don't know. I just feel there's some type of fear going on with that person, some type of apprehension. Sometimes we're our worst enemies. But on her chart, it essentially looks like prime time for love, true north node, your life purpose, your fated event, your destiny, your soulmate or your twin soul is right there. And I'm saying all the signs. 6th house Virgo with Libra, 7th house is Libra with Scorpio. Got Uranus there. Uranus rules Aquarius. Sun there rules Leo. And I think that's what she was doing with me, because she saw a lot of Leo on her chart. And my sun sign is a Leo. So she was thinking it was me, but it's not. See, the universe works a certain way. Like, it's all planned out. Like, Tammy in Australia will have some type of universal connection to Tammy in Asbury Park, New Jersey. That's how the universe, because you got to remember, they're not limited like we are. So when I think of Australia, I think, wow, down under, wow, so far away. But to them, it's like right there. Because you're dealing with omnipresent, just like Doreen Virtue taught us. So that's why sometimes you think it's meant to be. And sometimes it could be if the person sees it, but they're not. I met another person, and I really thought it could have been great. But she wasn't willing to go. Like, you got to play games. I'm just not into games. I just like being honest. And I feel like if I got to manipulate you to get your attention, I'm not going to respect you. But unfortunately, with a lot of women, you have to have some form of manipulation. That's just a fact. Dogs are more like, men are more like dogs, straightforward. Females are more with like the cat moves, a lot of, strategy, a lot of, what we consider games of manipulation, but it's actually just what the cat is. Okay, and another reason why I move the way I do when it comes to the astrology relationship stuff is I've been here for a while. So I saw stuff like this before. We just didn't call it twin flames and soulmates, and none of this is new to me. It's just that the terminology is newer. But I'm always gonna have a spiritual background, just the way it is. So I'm not trying to pair with somebody because my soulmate, she's a real reserved person, and I can kind of tell she tries to dictate this and that. And I'm not saying, I just don't like to be pushy. I used to, like, decades ago. But I really don't like to be pushy, and I don't like to talk to a woman like I'm talking to a child. Like, I'm not into all that manipulation shit. Like, I'm like, hey, what's up? How, let's do this together. I'm more like that type of person. So, you have to find somebody that can relate like that. Otherwise, they're looking for, like, they're a female, but they're actually looking for a father figure. And I don't want to be your father. I'm trying to be your man. So these are all reasons why I move the way I do. But I love astrology. You always see me reading and astrology. But for me, it's guidance. And even when you listen to all these people out here, the good ones, they always say guidance. That's the key word, guidance. They're pointing you in the right direction, but you have to make that final decision. Because sometimes when you jump into something, then you kind of wish you hadn't jumped in so quick. And sometimes, like, life is not going to be perfect. So you can't look a gift horse in the mouth either. It's just one of them things. This is what we call life. And when we're talking about Sagittarius, that's what you're dealing with. Philosophy and how people look at life. All right, give me a moment to get back into, I guess you could call it, the groove. So even the person on the right, they may want to get a reading as to find out what it is, but it just seems to me like I think it's not wanting to face the darkness to get to the light, and they're going to have to, and just want it easy. And they'll say, no, that's not it. Like, I got a relative that loves to philosophize, but they don't like me to say philosophize. Like, you want to call me up and waste my time giving your philosophy of what do you think happened in the beginning and how Satan fell. But it's his philosophy. It's not based on no Bible scriptures and nothing. Just him talking. Dude, I ain't got no time to be talking to you. What are you, crazy? That's like if my brother-in-law was one of the greatest medical doctors on the face of the planet, and I'm calling him up trying to waste his time trying to tell him what I think about how an operation should be carried out. First off, you're not a freaking doctor. Second off, I've been a doctor for over 30 years. Who do you think you calling with that garbage? Call somebody else and just hang up the phone on them. And that's how you've been around me for decades. And now you're acting like you want to philosophize or talk about. No, we're not going to be talking about. We can talk about something else, but we're not talking about that. Third house. The house of communications. And this is a Gemini moon. Don't forget my ascendant is Gemini. Not only is this a Gemini moon, but it's in medium quality at 14. So everywhere you have 14 on your chart is going to be significant. 14 vests in Aries, be careful. Watch that mouth. Because you could get yanked up. I already sent her an email. You could get yanked up. Or you could provoke a situation. I just stabbed myself with the pen. But I think that was a prophecy for you. Be careful. Be careful. Don't start arguing with anybody holding anything in their hand, whether it be a pen or whatever. Scissors, keep it quiet. This is the one time we just don't want to talk. No trash to nobody. Not looking too good for you. Not right now. Not as far as communication and going back and forth in arguments. And I told you, I believe you have what it takes to get what you want, and I think you know that. So I'm saying try a little finesse. I think you already do. But arguing, nah. You'd be surprised what a man will do. You ladies, y'all got the power. We don't have no power. Y'all think we do. Y'all got the power. Men are stupid. Men are dogs. Women are cats. Cats are way smarter. But what y'all want to do is argue all the freaking time. Especially like East Coast. Don't argue. That's the worst thing you want to do. Life sucks. Don't make it worse. There's a time and place for everything. If you could just learn that. There is a time to argue, but it's a time and place for everything. If you're arguing, it should be a reason. Not just because your emotions and all that crazy stuff. Because you can blow some good opportunities. Like you might have a guy that's actually spending money on you and he just gets sick of your mouth. And you lose it. I remember I was watching this TV show. It was an older guy. And he had like a 19-year-old girl. See, I'm going to call y'all girls. 19-year-old girl. But he was happy. See, I'm not into that young stuff. He was happy. Because he's an older guy. And he's got this 19-year-old girl having sex. He's great. He loves it. But she's always talking. And he's pissed the fuck off. Because he's an old guy. He don't want to, you know. He might have been like 45 or 50 or something. She's only 19. But she's always talking and it's pissing him off. So finally, it was kind of funny though. Finally, he had sex with her one last time. But the way it works out is she wants out anyway. Because he was going to drop her. So she was saying, you know, this will probably be the last time me and you. And she's thinking he's going to be all sad and shit. And he's just glad. So she's dumping him, but he's happy. Because it happened at the perfect timing. Because he was going to dump her. Because he didn't really, okay, he loved the idea of being with somebody young and beautiful and all that. But to hear all that talking and all that energy, he's older. He's trying to chill now. He's done all that stupid stuff. He's trying to chill. He don't want to hear all that crap every day. So you learn how to be strategic. What's your agenda? What are you trying to get? Sometimes arguing may be necessary, but a lot of times it's not. Sometimes it's just a smile. I was talking about the young girl I work with. She is like 19. Some older guy. She was Italian, beautiful. She was beautiful and her sister was beautiful. Her sister looked like an Amazon and shit. This is long before the Kardashians. This is like 2000 when they were Italians. But her sister was like unbelievably beautiful. And she was beautiful too. But that's what they remind me of. Like that. If I was to say who was the first Kardashians, it'd be them. And then and so it was a black guy that worked there. But he had skill. But I don't know if y'all ever saw a picture of it's a real black face for the Book of Enoch. A real black face man with white hair. He looked like him. So a lot of people, when they see that black skin and white hair, they lose it. Because he definitely had skill, this guy I'm talking about. But she was the one that was talking about, oh, you know, this old man better keep his hands off me and blah, 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 blah. But then later on that week or later on that night or 2 days later, whatever it was, that same old man was sitting in the chair on the sales floor because the boss wasn't there, so everybody was chilling. And he sat in the chair because he was a manager, and he said, "I need a massage." And that same 19-year-old girl came over there and started massaging him. And this is the same one that just got finished saying, if this guy ever put his hands on me again, it's illegal and blah, blah, blah. So obviously he must have hit her off with some money. But what I'm trying to say is, you get more bees with honey than you do all that arguing stuff. But this black guy, I was with him one night hanging out at this bar. And this is like 2001. And he was just sitting there. And there was some white girl sitting next to him. This is a true story. And most of these people in there are like college kids. College kids. So the bar had like some grapes on the bar and shit like that. And he was just sitting there minding his own business. And she said to him, "Do you want some grapes?" And he was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Do you want me to feed them to you?" And she started feeding him grapes and shit. So that old man had skill. That was some metaphysical shit. I seen that shit. I almost dropped my fucking... I was hating like a motherfucker. I was hating like, what the... How the fuck did he do that? So he wasn't just no pervert. He had skills with them young ladies. I don't know how. But he never said nothing to her because I was just standing like right there. Because you know how when a bar is real packed, so you standing? He was sitting down. I was just standing because we all came from the same workplace. But she actually initiated that conversation. He never said nothing to her. She initiated that conversation about the grapes. And then she started feeding him the grapes to his mouth. So I think it was his color of his skin or something. But that really turned on. Like, she lost control. So I just wanted to go on record as saying he wasn't no pervert. And obviously the female, even though she said all that, she still ran over there and was massaging him. All right. Now we're going to move on. Scorpio, power struggle. I'm at the chart in the middle. Scorpio, power struggle, family, Gemini moon, 0 degrees, a lot of deception because of Neptune retrograde. Uranus is right there. So this is going to be extreme communications, but I'm still telling you to be careful of what's being said because extreme communications can lead to extreme actions. So you don't need that, especially holiday time. I just told you what happened out here in New Jersey, right in my county. And now his whole family's wiped out by their family. This is in the news. You can check it out. So you don't need that. Mercury will also, Scorpio will also take you to alternative knowledge, alternative medicine, alternative stuff, but it's also business. It's debt, taxes, death and rebirth. So these are all the kind of communications that may be going on. And again, watch the young children because the third house is young children. And Gemini rules the third house. So, watch the young children. Keep an eye on them because they may be bugging out as well. Or they may be saying something that you need to listen to. Because remember, young children are old souls. I know a young son that told his mother, "I came here to help you." So he knew why he was there. And I kind of say that similarly about my mother. You see it on my natal chart. True North Node, second house, Cancer. So I'm really supposed to be with my dukes, despite what everybody else might be saying. But that's because in my past life, I was so career-oriented and more about my own reputation and my own agenda that I obviously didn't care too much about family. And even now, I got issues with family. But that's because of karma, because they give me a family that's very aggressive. And I'm supposed to somehow submit or work it out. But my ego, that lion sign, sun sign, is saying, hell no. And even my soulmate tried to push down the law. So it's kind of like my karmic debt to deal with that. But I'm kind of like not really dealing with it. And, I just see life a little bit different. Like my favorite book of the Bible is Job, because Job actually fought back. Like you can't throw me into a den of lions and expect me to just go with the program. I'm a lion myself. I'm going to try to do it a different way. I don't mind going through the process because you can't get past it anyway. But I don't have to go through the process. Just because you put somebody next to me don't mean we're going to have a conversation. Because first off, like with my twin, she was an a-hole. We're not going to get past that. And second off, that wasn't even about me and her ever having a conversation and connecting. That's why me and her never really ever had a conversation. But the universe kept me and her together all over. If I was walking through an isolated part in that building, she'd be back there. Like, what the fuck is she doing back here? But that's because the universe went out of its way to put us together. But unfortunately, the karmic debt was she's going to hurt me because I hurt her in a past life. So you got to know how to really play this game they call life. And it's not, don't take it personal. A lot of people take this personal. You don't have to take it personal, because I could go out right now and have a great date with somebody. Great. I've done it I'm a Leo. I'll just be sitting somewhere minding my own business. Some female will come in. So I'm not, you see, I have confidence. I'm not like some people, they're too intense with these charts. It's guidance. Find out what's going on and then make your plan, a strategy. Like her, just around this time period, I'd keep my mouth shut. And I know it's tough for you females to do, but ain't nobody popping me upside my head or stabbing me. Especially when I just heard of a family that killed the whole family, burnt down 2 houses, family in both of them. That's some weird stuff. Family, bloodline, brothers. This is right here in my county. So this is not the time to be getting into arguments with people, because people are going crazy because of what I'm showing you on the charts. So that's really your third house, Gemini. So wherever you see Gemini, so let's go. Let's go to the third house first. And her third house is Gemini, so we already covered it. And then we'll go to her Scorpio. And then, again, Uranus retrograde. This is just a time of upsets. Now, it's going to be strange. Anything could happen. Might be a little crazy. But somebody that's normally quiet might be talkative. Somebody that's normally talkative may be quiet. But it's definitely the times of upsets. When we go to that chart on the right, and that's family with Mars. So that's family issues. Like I said, these are things this person never talks about. But last time I did it, both of these, Saturn is going to be karma. And Mars is going to be intensity. But both at 2 degrees. So you can already see her Leo in her 4th house. See, in her family, it's going to be still a lot of discipline. And I think that's what she's running from. But she has to deal with it, because she's not going to have happiness until she does. And that's why even Leo is her Saturn. Because I was like a teacher to her. And it's kind of firm. But it's supposed to be, because life is not easy. So be glad somebody's taking out their time to try to help you the best way they can. Because life is not going to be easy. But she has to deal with her 3rd house and her 4th house. And this is under the Gemini moon. And I don't know if right now is the best time to do it, because everything's crazy in the universe. But she needs to deal with stuff, because until she does, she's going to keep running. She's going to keep looking for an easy way out. And she wants to be loved, which everybody does. But I'm on some Aretha Franklin, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Because love is important, but so is respect. So go to her 8th house, ruled by Scorpio. So you still see it. See her Scorpio? And her 7th house is Scorpio, which is her sun sign. But I really believe it's still a good time for a relationship for her. Not necessarily a great time for family, but a great time for a relationship for her. On the chart on the right. And then in her 8th house, you got Sagittarius with Neptune. That's all psychic stuff with the moon. So internally, she's really going through some stuff, because of Uranus retrograde with Scorpio, with the moon. And even Sagittarius is in the 4th house. So this is still going to be family. I'm looking at the chart in the middle. This is still going to be family, but it can even be some long distance stuff. So right now it's going to be a very emotional time for her. But you got to understand, when you're dealing with Sagittarius, the moon, who rules Pisces, is also going to be a spiritual time for her. And that's why I say people should be taking notes, taking journals. Because these are things she has to work out. A lot of people just go through life based on emotions. Some people don't deal with astrology and stuff like this. But this is going to be a very emotionally erratic time. All right, so what happens? I use a audio or radio alarm, but I got to stop doing that, because YouTube will say it's copyright infringement and block the whole video. So then I have to edit it out. So I'm going to just start using a regular alarm clock. All right. So I hope you guys are listening because I'm showing you how tough it can be for some people, but you still have to take authority over yourself. See, I know for a fact my soulmate is going to be karmic. So she's trying to get me in a position where she's going to be telling me, I'll get back to you and all that. And I've already done that early in life, and I don't play that no more. That's why the guy I used to be when I was younger, I'm not trying to be now. Still a nice guy, but I'm not going to be so nice that I'm being played out. So if we're talking to each other, let's act that way. Because I'm not going to be you're not going to put me on a schedule and all that foolishness. And I would never do that to. That's just there, that's something a female does. Like, that's just something very disrespectful to somebody. And like, I'm not going to just be another number in your life. You're out of your fucking mind. So it's a lot of games being played in the universe. But like I said, people have a sense of humor. And that's why when you read the book of Job, there's people in heaven determining his whole life. This is like the movie Trading Places. But Job was tough enough to go through it. And at the end, they had to bow down and respect Job. So I believe in stuff like that. So that's why I'm just different. Like I say a lot of stuff about the person on the right, but I know them even deeper than they probably can imagine. So they don't like it at times, but they need to hear it because you have to toughen up and deal with it. I was beat up too. My family was extremely dysfunctional, but you can't keep running from it. You'll never find love if you keep running from it. You have to deal with that pain. However you do it. I'm not saying it's easy. Never said that. Never heard me say it was easy. But you have to deal with it. Because that's the only way you're going to see all the great stuff that's on your chart. Now I'm trying to put my foot in this solution before it gets too cool. And then it ain't going to be no good. All right, I'm in. Can I stay? Oh, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm just not in the mood. I could have stayed, but no way. I'm sorry. All right, so let's go. Put this over here. So in less than 7 minutes, you're going to hear this, because I got another pot. Because I got both feet. I got one part big enough for two, but it's just kind of hard. So I'm just got two pots today. Because I'm trying to get a lot of shit done. All right, let's go back. So a lot of telepathy is going to be going on with this person, their dreams, and the chart on the right because of the Mercury energy, but all the Scorpio energy, excuse me, but also Sagittarius. And see, Sagittarius right now is in the 4th house of family. So, like I said, when you don't deal with it, the universe is still going to make you deal with it through dreams and all ways that the universe communicates. And we already said the Mercury retrograde is going to make communications hard. Also, be careful of your computers, your cars, anything, because it may stop working or work strange, and you'll think something's wrong, but that's the product of a Mercury retrograde. So you have to make your own decision, either wait, or you may invest money that you could have just waited and it'll start working again after the retrograde. But, each person's got to make their own decision. We already told the person on the left about the whole Aries, Scorpio, Mars thing. Be very careful. Not a good time to be getting involved with Scorpio power struggles and arguing. It's not going to go too well for you if you do. 9th house of Sagittarius. Again, Neptune retrograde takes you into the escape zone. Neptune retrograde is still a deceiver, but it wants to escape. And a lot of times, it could be a getaway. But that's okay if you're traveling. It's a good getaway, a good escape. But some people use drugs or just they go into a fantasy world, sort of. All right, I got my foot in. Just going to leave it here before I submerge. Oh, man. All right, that's enough. No submerge yet. All right. So that's your 9th house. And remember, higher self. It could be in-laws. It also could be higher laws with the Neptune retrograde. But it's a very spiritual time because Neptune retrograde is in Pisces with Mars. So that's going to be going on in her 9th house. Chart to the left. And in her ninth house, karmic debt again. Reason why I'm saying it's a karmic debt because that's Capricorn. So in her ninth house, but it's also the medium quality that could be part of her life purpose, where Scorpio is. So in my opinion, in her ninth house, your higher self house, philosophy, religion, long distance, higher courts, in-laws, you see that Saturn with Leo again. See, she may have had a Leo that was very authoritative in her life. Authoritative. And she's gonna feel that a little bit with Capricorn. And right now Saturn's in Capricorn. So it's still karma. See, what you have to understand is, and this is what I be trying to tell people, because they be woe is me. But I meet a lot of females and they tell me on how some horrible things happen to them. But then they do some horrible stuff to me. And I'm saying, well, maybe that horrible stuff happened to them because they did it to somebody else and now it's karma. That's why I be telling people, you know, when you want to cry and say how horrible the world is, to dry up because maybe it's your karma. But you hear me admit it. See, I'm not mad at my twin because I know I probably hurt her. I could see it every now. I didn't know what, like she had like this little girl look she used to give me, and a very nice little girl every now and then. So I probably hurt that little girl in a previous life. Because that's what you're seeing over here in her ninth house right now. So anywhere where you see that Sagittarius energy or Capricorn or Saturn, that's karma that she has to deal with. However she does it. And sometimes the best place you could start is your 12th house, because that's your house of secrets. And Jupiter's right there, but Jupiter rules the ninth house. It rules Sagittarius. Anytime you have Jupiter in the 12th house, that means as long as you're helping people, serving others, you will be blessed by your guardian angel. That's Jupiter guardian angel. My foot is now submerged. Still kind of hot, but not hot enough to make me scream. So I thank God for that. Because I'm a wimp when it comes to this heat on the feet. That shit is not fun. Oh, now it's starting to get me. I should have kept my mouth shut. I'm sorry. I'm a Leo. We're dramatic. We like to entertain. All right. Foot still submerged. But when that alarm goes off, I'm going to have to come out of this anyway. All right. Now let's go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right now, where her Leo is on the right, it is no fun. It's a lot of karmic. Not saying she won't have fun. That's not what I'm saying. But it's still going to be a lot of karmic there. Just like me, you hear me having fun, but it's a lot. I'm going through hell right now. Through a lot of shit. Right now, I'm going through hell with this hot that I want to take my foot out. But I'm trying to be tough for you people. Because I don't want you saying I'm a wimp. Oh, but it hurts. It hurts in a good way, like Cougar. John Mellencamp, sorry. Hurts so good. Come on, baby. All right, that's good enough. Don't have to be stupid. Plus, I got to get ready and put this on pause anyway. 1, 2. All right, go back to the 1, 2, 3, 4. We just said 5. 6 is Aquarius. Okay, healing. But Aquarius is going to be the community, and it's where your vertex is. So there's some type of vertex, fated event, destiny going on with Aquarius. Aquarius energy, but it's also... It's also Virgo energy. So it's some type of fated event, destiny, a karmic event even, with the vertex. So it all depends on where Scorpio is on your chart. It all depends on where Aquarius is on your chart. We already talked about Virgo. So this will be healing. Right now I'm going to do something. Nah, I don't know what I'm trying to do. Can I put both of them in there? Let me see. Hoo-hoo. Yabba dabba do. Mm, mm, mm. All right. 6. So we already talked about Virgo energy. So now we're going to talk about Aquarius. And that's her moon sign. So she's got some type of karmic, fated, or destiny event going with her moon sign. And the vertex is at 25 degrees. Her moon sign is 23 degrees. And remember, right now, the moon sign is in Gemini. So her patience is not going to be where it needs to be. Because Gemini is real short patient. And Aquarius ain't trying to go deep either. So that's why I tell you, it's just not a good time for watch your temper. Because you're probably going to be wrong. Or you could be right, but you could have handled it differently. So just watch your communication, watch your temperament. Not a good time for you in the field of emotions and communication. Be very careful. And her career is Aquarius, which is really very unique. But that could be a career in communications, kind of, or technology, somehow helping a community. Innovative ideas, innovative creations. But she's still going to have that Capricorn karma, because Capricorn rules the 10th house. So her Leo, her Sagittarius, her Capricorn, her Saturn, her 10th house, her Aquarius is all going to deal with karma. And this is why you have to deal with it. Because that's why I said it's easy to say, woe is me, and, play the victim card. But it's still going to be on your chart no matter how you play it. You have to say, wow, I got to really address this stuff. And you got to also stop saying, like I admit it. If my twin flame was hell or a witch or whatever I called her, it's probably because I did something in a past life to her. Karma. You have to man up. Because as long as you're playing that woe is me card or running all the time, you're never going to get the way you have to get to grow. But on your chart, the one on the right, there's unbelievable love there. All right. So the question would be, person on the right, will they find happiness if they keep running? Anything's possible. But even if they did, they still got all that karmic debt that we're seeing on the chart that they got to deal with. See, in my case, it's just difficult. But like I said, they got a sense of humor. That's why when you read the book of Job, that's how it starts off. They say, hey, Job is the most righteous person on the planet. Satan, go test Job. Like, wait a minute. Didn't you just say he's the most righteous person on the planet? So why are you testing him? Why don't you go test some wicked people? And then they destroy that poor man. So you see this, though. This is the universe. People, they separate it. Spirituality is spirituality. Whether it's coming from a star, a planet, or the universe. And that's why Doreen Virtue, when she was enlightened, she kind of taught you that. But then she fell back to the limit philosophies of religion. The limited philosophy. I'm a Buddhist, so I have to believe this. I'm a Catholic, so I have to believe that. I'm a Protestant, so I have to believe that. You become limited. But when you really understand the universe, it's all one. And it can never be separated. Separation is a deception. It's funny, I can stick my finger. It's starting to get it, though. Because I stuck my hand almost all the way in. This is when I just took off the stove, but I had it on low. But last time I tried to stick my foot in there, it didn't do it. But I got both my feet in the bigger one, but I'm trying to put the foot that needs it the most in the one that just came off the stove. So let's see what happens. I should be able to do it, though. Should I? Oh, no, I can't. Oh, no, I can't. It's funny I could stick my hand in there, though. It went all the way down. All right, so I'll keep both of the feet over here. Now, So again, if they were listening and taking notes, because you might get a reading, because I'm giving you all the signs, all the planets. It's not that difficult. It's only difficult because people don't want to work on it. They just want life to be easy. Oh, I just want to be loved. All right. 7th house is Pisces in the universe. It's all about relationships. But these relationships are going to have somewhat of a cloudiness because of Neptune retrograde. And possibly some passive aggressiveness going on because of Mars and Pisces. But it might lead to healing because Chiron is at 28 degrees. So now, the 7th house of the universe is connecting with the 12th house ruled by Pisces and Neptune of endings. So some relationships, like they said, with a full moon is actually an ending because you're leaving chapter 12 and you're going to chapter 13. It's a new beginning, but that new beginning is still connected to this ending. And that's why I say even when you looked on the chart on the left, it's almost like she's going to be kind of thinking of new ways she wants to go about this. I don't know how I'm able to stick my hand in this thing, but not my foot. That's freaking crazy. So if you're one of these smart people to know the answer to that, that's bugging me out. I stick my hand all the way down and I don't feel it. Go all the way down and I touch the... As soon as I put my foot even on top of it, it's like, oh, no way. Can wait a few minutes for that one. All right. We live in such a unique universe. And you can spell universe with U-N, unity, U-N-I, U-N-I-T-I, U-N-I-T-Y. Queen Latifah also from New Jersey, I must say. Brick City, Newark. Ha, ha, ha. All right. So, 7th house is dealing with Pisces inspiration, but it's also dealing with endings. And so once you go to the 7th house on the space chart in the middle of the transit chart, guess who's there? Leo. So Leo will also be coming to some type of ending in the realm of relationship, but a new beginning. Now, what will that beginning be? It could be anything. Because I haven't seen, because I'm only going by what the high priestess showed me. Sometimes when a person goes missing, or you hear they're not doing well, if you have feelings for them, when you see them again, you might be way different. Because I kind of feel sorry for the position that my soulmate is in, because I'm not in a position that's going to be chasing nobody. Not now. I mean, it used to be a long time ago. So what she expects to see from her man, she probably wouldn't see that from me. And I don't know. And to be honest with y'all, I was kind of glad that I didn't have to see. Not because I got anything against her, because I don't, but just the pressure. And I just feel sad. But like I said, I'm going to tell you, female, something. Let's go back if you've been listening. Even though the one female said, oh, this old man and blah, 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 blah. But she knew what to do. So you got to give her credit. And her sister was the same way. Her sister was a go-getter. Because life ain't going to change if you sitting around waiting for somebody. It just ain't going to happen. Just like a guy. You know, he might have been hurt by tons of women. He just doesn't have it in him no more. He doesn't want to be hurt no more. So if you're interested, you got intuition. You got dreams. You got all kind of stuff. Maybe you need to make that move. If you really believe. Or you can keep on thinking that he's supposed to make a move, but it may never happen. And it's not that he doesn't like you. He just don't want the bullshit. When I wrote the song called Aquarius Snow, that's what I said. I don't want a typical... And I wrote that song for my soulmate, who I work with. And I said, I don't want a typical relationship from a female. You know, we chase you, we chase you. You know, you play games, you play games. You act a little bit interested. But the moment something doesn't go your way, you dump us and act like you never liked us. Like that hurts. So when I wrote Aquarius no, was like, that was me tapping out, saying, no more Leo shit. You're going to have to come on a Capricornian, baby. So that's how me and the soulmate, how we going to get past that dilemma. Because at one time, I know she wanted it. It was, once she hit me with that, ultimatum she was trying to give me. And then I kind of pulled away from her. Not because I was mad, but I was hurt. And then she started trying to go out of her way to get back in. It was so cute, though. And then we finally started talking. And then I got messed up. But then the high priestess assured me that it's all part of the universal plan. She showed up on 2 different times, 2 different readings, the days apart. And she relatively said the same thing, that I'm here. And plus, you got to understand, I see the supernatural stuff with the moon and all that, too. I'm really connected with the universe. None of this stuff is a joke to me. This is real. You're dealing with real entities, real people, real feelings, real spirit. Just like Doreen Virtue used to teach before she tapped out and went the good old-fashioned religion, which limits you with a bunch of theology that's not necessarily true. But it's still power. It's still spirituality there, but nothing like working with the archangels and working with the universe. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Best thing that ever happened to me on this planet, I think. One of the best things. Definitely in the top 3. Top 3, top 4. All right. So, relationships are coming to some type of ending, but it's an inspiration. It might be healing. So, what they're telling you is, maybe that person, I'm just going to use my soulmate, maybe she will be a little bit different. Let her in. Don't fuck with her. Let her in. Like, if she really starts to come up to you, I'm not saying she will. It's just not her personality. But if she was to come up to you, really let her in. Like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How's your day? Oh, that's good. Glad to hear some shit. Like, really let her know that you're welcoming her. Like, let her know that you really like this new her. Well, she's just like me, though. She's real reserved. That's why watching her, I love it. Because it's like looking at myself and shit. She's just real reserved and shit. But both of us can't be reserved. And I'm like, man, I've been hurt. I can't do this again. The universe sends in this beautiful female. Me and her click. It's so freaking beautiful. But when I ask her what her name is, she has the same name as my soulmate. So that's when some strange shit happened that day with the moon and the pillar of clouds. Because the high priestess sits between 2 pillars. And that moon was hovering over 2 pillar of clouds. That shit was crazy. Broad daylight. In the east over the Atlantic Ocean, and then in the west was the sun, just like you're seeing this chart. You see how the moon's right there, and you see the sun right there. That's what it was. So that whole twin soulmate shit is unbelievable. And what y'all gotta understand, I tend to call Rosa my twin flame, but there's no paperwork to prove that. But it was just she was so powerful. But this person I work with, who I call my soulmate, or I don't know, she might be my twin flame. Until I see the paperwork, I would never know. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to try this foot again real quick. Yeah. Still too hot for me. Personally, I think in the beginning, all that heat might be beneficial. But after you soak the foot, I've been soaking my foot for the last 3 or 4 days all day. So, I don't think all that heat is good. It's not good to keep soaking the heat. Sometimes it's just, like they said, make it warm or warm cooler and just soak it. Because I think all that heat does more damage. All right. So I hope you guys heard that. So now, Leo's in the 12th house. So Leo will have some type of ending. And the same thing, just like I'm telling her. On the right, Leo also has to deal with his karmic debt, his endings. But if you notice, there's nothing over there for Leo. But they've been whipping Leo's ass. But you can go right back to the 5th house and see they kicking Leo's ass with transformation and karma. So they may be letting me know that she's going to be different when I see her. Now, why would she be kind of different? Because she might really have missed me. And I mean, because that, remember I told you Tanya came to me. Tanya's one of my favorite girlfriends, top 3, and she came to me in a dream. I was like, what the hell is Tanya? Tanya has never come to me in a dream, and I knew this had to do with my soulmate. But that's how me and Tanya hooked up, because we were together, and I wouldn't make no move, and then they took her away from me. We worked at the same job, and they took her, and I was missing her so much, and then they brought her back. As soon as they brought her back, that's when we hooked up, because I just couldn't live without her and shit. So I might be walking into something like that. And talk about Pisces, because I just had a long talk with my sister. Me and my sisters are Pisces. But we have, our family is very dysfunctional. And my sister was telling me, oh, you should be with us this holiday and blah, blah, blah. And I really be trying to come to see you, but mommy don't let me in because mommy wants to come down south. And then she was really upset. So that's the 7th house, and that's going to have Libra, Pisces, and Neptune. Now we'll go over here. So that same energy. See, in her 7th house, and then Pluto retrograde means something will have to be taken so that, like, you're relying on something that you're not going to progress if it's not taken. So something's going to be taken from your relationship sector, Libra, but it's also your vertex at 12 degrees. So that's still karma. It's a fated event. It's destiny. It could be some type of meeting or some type of change with your soulmate or your twin soul, which is your twin flame. Twin soul, twin flame, same soul, different body. Soulmate, different souls, but part of the same soul tribe. But twin soul is same soul, different body. That's your twin flame. So you're going to have some type of significant event there, but something will be taken away right now to help you. And if you notice, Pluto is, again, with Capricorn and Saturn, so you know it's karmic. It's karmic. And when you go to the 7th house on the right, again, Scorpio, True North Node, Uranus is there. Just watch out for sudden things coming from Uranus. But I still think hers is kind of good. And then her Pisces is in the people. So she's got some type of Aquarian Pisces thing going on, which is good. Because sometimes that's what you do. When you get hurt, you run to a more altruist way of life for answers. That's like somebody gets hurt in love and then they run to church or run to a religion or something. Or nowadays with YouTube, you can run online or something online. But that's a running. But that could help her with healing, I'm assuming. And even where her Pisces is, look who's there. Vesta at 17 degrees, but it's still karma. See, she can't get away from karma. That's something she has to admit. You have a karmic debt. It's all over your natal chart. So of course things are gonna seem rough and tough and stuff. But you might have been a piece of work in a previous life. You might have been a queen that was just killing people for the fun of it. You might have been a queen that was bringing people in before you and having them murdered. Families and everything wiped out. So don't sit there pouting, oh, I can't find love, people use me. Yeah, but you might have brought that on yourself. At least I'm man enough to admit mine. That's why I said this is about getting busy. How can I change this? Just give me a moment. I'm submerging his foot a little bit. Now, if you hear me scream like a bitch, it's not because I'm a bitch, okay? Submerged. All right. I want to thank the universe. I want to thank my earthly mother, because the moon is mama. All right. Woo. I want to thank DC, the late great DC, one of the greatest gangsters of all time. I don't think there was any gangster greater than DC. When I was a young buck down in Ronald's basement, DC tried to torture me. He used to punch me and my arms was full up. But I took it like a soldier because I didn't want to be a bitch. And then I let DC torture me, but I took it like a soldier. But then he tried to put some stuff under my fingernails. Like he said the Nazis used to do it. Torture you by putting something under your fingernail. So that's when I wanted to run like a bitch, but I had to walk like a thug. So I act like I was walking because I was getting pissed off, but I was scared like a motherfucker. But I was like, yo, man, I'm tired of this. Oh, man. But I really like, mommy, oh, DC's fucking me up. But DC is another gangster that came back from the dead for me. Because I had to tell God I became a preacher. And I never preached to DC when I saw him out of respect. And then I realized that was a big mistake on my part. And so I told God I should have preached to DC and that was my fault. And so a flashlight, because that happens sometimes. That's somebody from the dead talking to you from the other side. A flashlight came on by itself. And I knew that was DC. All right. I just wanted to share. I felt like sharing in that particular house. Because we're dealing with the 12th house sometimes. A little bit of the 12th house right now. That's the boogeyman. That's sort of like the Eve house as well. The boogeyman and dead people coming back to life and death and rebirth and everything. Yeah, boy. All right, let's go. So, deal with your karma. Stop running from it. That was the 7th house. We've already did Scorpio, Aries, and all that. Right now, because of Uranus and Aries. See, her Scorpio, she is Scorpio. But I don't know. I get a different vibe. I think it's going to help her. See, love is waiting at her door. It is. All right. I finally have both feet submerged. One in one pot, one in the other. And that'll be it. Because another thing, don't keep soaking it. Like I try to do mine early in the day and then I'm done. And don't worry, like make sure your swelling's going down because that could be dangerous. But like sometimes you have to leave it alone. Because my swelling didn't really start to go down until after I went to sleep. Because if you keep looking at it, it's not really going to necessarily go down. Just like anything else if you keep staring at it. All right. So that was 7th house. 8th house, we already told you. Scorpio, Aries, crazy energy, Uranus, retrograde. Be careful. We've already talked about all that. 9th house with Taurus. And there's Juno again. And her Juno is in Taurus as well. So this is a new moon. So like I said, in the chart to the left, it's going to be something new with that Taurus energy. Something new she's feeling or something new. But you just have to be careful that you're not being deceived by the energy of the universe. And I've already talked about it in this. And you can also get the master video I did on the Gemini moon that I'll be sending to selected people. Not everybody's going to get that. I put a lot of work in that. So only people that show appreciation. All right. If you're interested in seeing it, you can contact me. Now, so that's her Taurus. And again, Uranus retrograde is right there, even though it's in the previous house. But it's still going to affect her. But it might be for the better. That's why I said don't. If you use Mars energy, use it in a positive way. Don't do the arguing. It's not a good time to be arguing. Not for you. Not now. Definitely not. Because you might smack a bitch, but you brought it on yourself. Just keep it down. Tone it down, ladies. Stop trying to get all heavy up in a man's face. You're not a man. You're a woman. You can make your point, but all that tough guy shit up in a motherfucker's face. Then when a motherfucker beat your ass, oh, you, what do you call us? You abuser. Oh, yeah. Yo, you was up in my face. You was the aggressive one. You're damn right. Do that shit to a cop and see if he don't take you down to the ground. If you're in court and you just think you're going to aggressively approach the judge's bench, I'm pissed off. And you're not no honor. You're no judge. And you think you're going to approach his bench, that bailiff is going to jump on your ass, take you to the ground. Or if the judge feels a certain way, he might pull out a revolver on your ass. If he's got one behind that bench. You don't just be jumping up in people's faces. There's a way to communicate. Just remember that. All right. Now, so now we're in the 10th house of career. Right? Well, let me do her Taurus. So her ascendant is Taurus. So again, so that Taurus energy might be bringing love her way. And this could be a serious, really, remember, her Juno is in the earth sign Virgo. But they're all earth signs. Her second house is Gemini, and it's a Gemini moon. So even then, she may be seeing some type of relationship going on. Some people might say, well, you know, every time you do astrology, it's all about relationship. What about other stuff? Well, I am talking about it if you're listening and taking notes. And again, sometimes you have to get a reading. Like, let's say you play guitar. Like, just by me doing your natal chart, I might not know that. But sometimes it comes out through the cards and stuff like that. Those are specific questions for like a specific card reading or something. All right. And like I said, if you're not ready for it, you're not ready for it. See, in my case, I don't mean no disrespect to my soulmate, but her being reserved ain't going to help because I'm not ready. I'm also reserved. We're both reserved right now. So at this particular point, I would need somebody that's more eager to connect. Because I'm not going to be going through you and you on your phone and all. Think I'm going to be waiting and shit. Because nigga, I done waited long enough. That's why I said sometimes you got to stand up to the universe. Like Job did. Man, I've been waiting long enough. I actually stopped dating for over 20 years. I'm ready to date. I don't got time for this. And you have to be persistent. And either you can go do it your way, or somehow they're going to have to contact your soulmate and tell her to step it up. Because she knows. Damn, he's not even looking at me no more. Wow, he's moving totally different. And then she's going to try to find a way back in again. But she's kind of young and inexperienced, so it's not to her benefit. But I'm told that she does readings too, from what I hear. So she's getting some information somewhere. So that's why I say you just got to work with the universe, trust the universe, and however you're going to work it out. All right. So that's your Taurus energy. Now in the 10th house, see, in 14 degrees. Now this is why this chart on the left is so important, because they're keeping you 14 degrees. So it's something about that number 14, you're 14 degrees. So anywhere where you see 14 degrees, I would strongly advise you to be mindful of it. Watch the Aries energy. Realize Mercury is retrograde in the universe, so your communications may be a little off with your Taurus. But that's also where your Juno is, so be mindful of that. And then your true north node is 14 degrees Virgo. So whatever we said about Virgo, healing, because that's the ascendant. But this will be career. Now, usually if you see Gemini in the 10th house, that's like a part-time job, which is what I have. Part-time job, a job that you're not going to have very long. But this is also new. And see, I've been going for a while because of my situation. It is going to be new when I go back. And remember, the 10th house is still going to be karmic because the soulmate is going to be there. So her Gemini has nothing in it, the one to the left, but it's still communication. It's still going to be new. It's still under the new moon. So her third house is going to be new. And remember, that's children too. It might be a new short journey. She has to consider something short. Even it's a creative house as well. Because I mean, when you go back, I work in retail. Plus, it's the holiday time. So you know it's going to be a totally new environment when I go back. Everything's going to be new. And right now in the universe, you got Scorpio there, again, dealing with the soul and the secrets. And it's still going to be the 10th house, so the 5th house is going to be there, still going to be karmic. But it's also transforming. And I know for a fact, Pluto, I think Lilith too, is on my chart, but that has to do with my soulmate. So that's why I said if your soulmate is acting different, let them in. Because the universe may have helped them realize, they have to change if they want to make a connection. Because the only way that's going to happen is if she wants it as much as I do. Because I'm not going to sit there and she's on her phone and all kind of silly shit that people do. Like, there's nowhere in the world you're going to play me out like that. Either you want to talk or you don't. Because I want to be with somebody who wants to talk. I want to be with somebody who says, okay, I'll call you back, and boom, my man here. Because I'm that way. Don't nobody come up for the lady. I know. I've kicked out. I used to have a band, and it would be my whole would be filled up with musicians. As soon as she came, I kicked everybody out. My baby here, y'all got to go. Get the fuck up out of here. Y'all ain't got to go home, but you're damn sure getting the fuck up out of here. You bitch ass coward niggas. Get out! My baby's here. So if she don't feel the same way about me, I gotta find me somebody who do. Because that's how I feel. Because you gotta realize if you deserve it, you deserve it. Ain't no coward. That's why I love me some Book of Job, because he knew what he was. Couldn't nobody tell him nothing bad about him. He knew. You gotta know. You gotta have self-confidence in yourself. Even if everybody else is laughing at you. Because as long as you got self-confidence in yourself, it don't matter what they say. Walk past them and get the people who can see it. And you will if you really believe. See, this is what I say. I declare it, decree it, believe it, and receive it in the name of Jesus. Listen, I got healing in that name. So y'all can believe what you want to. I'm not out here trying to preach to you. But I got healing because my feet was fucked up, nigga. And I'm still going through some stuff. I got healing. All I did was praise and sing and was just rejoicing. I was in the spirit. All right. So that's your 10th house. I don't know what else I can say about the 10th house. Let's go over here to the right. Her 10th is Aquarius and Gemini. But that's short. But that's what I mean. She's already like that because she doesn't really like to go deep. She really doesn't. But you're going to have to overcome that. Because in order for you to change and address your karma, you're going to have to go deep. And over here. And her 10th house is Cancer, like Capricorn. See, her natal chart is exactly what a natal chart should be. 10th house should be Capricorn at 3 degrees. So again, it's going to be on new stuff with the Gemini moon, but we've already covered that. And her relationships and stuff. So let's go to the 11th house in the universe on the right. It's all about family, finally. But it's about friends, association, groups, and family. With Uranus and Aquarius energy. Be careful of Uranus, Aries. Watch what you say. And you see Sagittarius with Mercury retrograde. Watch out for misunderstandings. And Sagittarius could be long distance families out of the country. But it could also be like I'm up north. But my family really is down south. That is long distance. And that's where they're all at. So watch the communications. Friends, association, groups. And you see see, it's a Gemini moon. Her 6-9 is in Gemini. See, this is what I mean by you can't escape karma. Because they're going to make it. They're going to make you face it. And there's Mars right there. And then in the 4th house is Leo. Because Leo's going to make you go through the karma, the Saturn. And we already dealt with her Aquarius. 10th house, but again, Capricorn or karma. And then when you go to 11th house, spiritual. So she might find solace, but that's like a retreat. And it's all right to go spiritual, but you still have to deal with your karma. All right. 12th house, Leo energy, Pisces energy. We've already covered that. And ironically, in her 12th house, well, it's Aries. What about her 12th house? Pisces. So, It's going to be a time of closing, but we've already shown you Leo energy is bold, but it's still children. Some type of finality with children. The chart on the right, they just have to deal with that Leo karma, I'm going to call it. They have to deal with it. Leo's got to deal with his ending, so he's got to realize what his karma is, whether it's family issues, twin flame, twin soul issues, views on women issues, stuff like that. Her ending is more spiritual. But we already said the universe is doing Libra and so everything we said about relationships and home on the left chart, she could remember. All right. Now we'll conclude. Remember, there's a lot of sales going on. If you haven't had your natal chart done, get it done. If you haven't had it updated, get it updated. Make sure you're aware about the Gemini moon. Like I said, I'm offering that for people that want to know. It's going to change everything. It really is going to change everything. Now, here's the deal. If you ain't working on nothing, of course, it didn't change. Yeah, because you won't work on anything. That's why it didn't change. If you were working with the universe, it did change. Because I expect when I do see my soulmate, it's going to be something different. I mean, whatever that is. Even if she has a boyfriend, but that's still different. That's still different. But my soulmate, she kind of likes both. She likes men and female, so that's interesting. So we'll see. Maybe it's a new girlfriend. Who knows? I don't know. So, and also make sure you have the most recent services offered and price list, because I do everything. So a lot of people it's not just natal charts, I do everything. So know what it is. And we got sales going on now, so make sure you're aware of it. Some people want to get started right away with your natal chart. That information should always be in the description box of how to get started through PayPal. But all you need is the month, day, and year of birth. Write it out. Don't do any type of short, because you could give me the wrong info. 7/11/74 in America is totally different than 7/11/74 in Britain. So make sure you write it out. That way you're not going to pay for anything that you don't get, because if it's the wrong date, that's what you get. So don't submit a wrong date. The time of birth, if you don't have it, we get that from the Archangels. Thank the Archangels. Thank you very much, Archangels. City, state, and country, if not the USA. And they ask for gender. Right now they're going male or female. Either one. All right, but we do what we do: numerology, birthday. Like, that's why I say you have to get the you have to really get the price services offer price list, and of course the email is always there to contact as well. All righty, everybody, happy holidays. God bless.